the nature of creation and the nature of variances from within ourselves before we're able to address anything outside of us. Everything has its origin or comes from inside of us. This is the beginning of everything. So when we talk about relationships, when we get to the root of it, it's necessary to cover that. However, the next piece beyond that would be, when we address relationships, would be what is the nature of the relationship with ourselves. Because the relationship we have with ourselves determines the relationship we have with everything else. It's how we feel about ourselves that establishes a sense of connection, a sense of being, the nature of how we connect with everything else. Everybody else, everything else, we talk about insects, the trees, the birds, the sky, the water, this, that, and the third. It's based on how we connect with ourselves first and foremost. So, I ask you, and this is more rhetorical, but while I'm talking, I'd like you to consider these things initially. How do you feel about who you are? What's the relationship that you have with yourself? Because at the end of the day, this is where everything stems from. This is where everything stems from. Everything. We're talking about how you connect with people, the conversations you have, the way you carry yourself, the things you do, the way you talk. How do you feel about yourself? Now, this is not the opportunity to judge yourself as if, okay, because for the most part, when you say something like that, right? People go, oh yeah, I'm good at this, but I need to do this, and I need to work on that, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. This is all self-analysis, yeah? Yes, of course, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement, and this is that and the third. However, that's the nature of creation. It's always expanded. It's always expanded. It's just the nature of existence, change, it's expansion, yeah? But it's your intent, and knowing that you came here to do great things and to align with the truth of yourself beyond the mental distortions and stuff, and being mad at people, and this is that and the third, forgiveness and compassion and acceptance. Like, these things are natural. So, once you cease attempting to judge yourself, and you just accept who you are right now, and know that you're perfect right now, there's nothing that you could do better right now, you come to a place of clarity. This is the nature of enlightenment. Because at the end of the day, we always are doing the best that we can. We're always doing the best that we can. It's like, oh, you need to do better, you need to do better. Yes, this is the voice in your head. It's just that, once again, the heart knows that there's only perfection right now. Everything that's happening right now that you're experiencing right now is necessary for you to experience right now. There is no better. Everything is always in its perfection at the moment. It's what's happening right now. So once you accept that right now is perfect, and that you are perfect, you recognize who you are as God. And this is not something that happens later. You're not God later. You're God now. Beyond all the stuff that you don't define yourself based on the stuff that you do and what you say, and this is that and the third. You're God now, experiencing yourself. It's just that, once again, it's about you having the unconditional love to accept that that's the nature of who you are now, beyond what you perceive to be necessary to recognize your own divinity. Because, I mean, for the most part, mentally, you're like, oh, I gotta wait till I'm like an old man and I'm meditating in the woods and I don't need nothing to eat and drink and I ain't smoking weed and this, that, and the third. You think this is the nature of being enlightened or some spiritual, galactic so-and-so up in the air, and it's like, that's not the nature of what this is. It's just about an awareness. It's about that unconditional love that knows and accepts what's going on with you right now, that you're experiencing your own creation, along with the intent and willingness to do the work necessary to continue to expand and experience your glory. That's a self-acceptance thing. That's all about acceptance. The truth is extremely simple. There's complexities, however, the principles are extremely simple. And some of the most simple things in the world is hard to do. Why? Because the brain has this thing where it's like, okay, we have all these preconceived notions and prerequisites. Like when we analyze things, it's like, well, I'm not this because first you got to do this, and first I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and then somebody got to tell me this, and I got to pass this class, and so on and so forth. You have all these prerequisites when in actuality it's more about just accepting who you are right now. So, with self-acceptance, there comes self-love. Self-love is the frequency of companionship. It's like when you love yourself and you smile and you appreciate life, you appreciate everything that's going on right now, you appreciate the things that you don't prefer and the things that you do prefer. Some people, in human terms, the struggle is real and this, that, and the third. I get it. We go through ups and downs and so on and so forth. However, the ability to self-love is in accepting everything that's taking place and knowing that it's all your creation beyond you being a victim. There are no victims here. This is your creation. It's just your own sense of self-love and personal responsibility that you can accept that all of these things are your creation. You're not valued based on how much money you got and this, that, and the third. These are all your experiences that you created in order for you to be the person that you came here to be. You have the strength to maintain and be responsible enough to handle the things that you came here to do. It's just that all of these things that you're going through are necessary to take that seat, to sit down in a spot of royalty. This is what's necessary. And once again, this is all about acceptance, continuously. Self-love is magnetic when you're able to smile and just enjoy what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And not think about the bills and this, that, and the third. You let all that stuff go. You don't let it bother you. You're not worried about how this is going to happen and how this is going to happen. You just accept what's going on now and you embrace yourself and you allow your light to shine. Your ability to smile is where you're strong. There's a lot of wisdom in the smile because there's a lot of things out here that make a person frown. However, your ability to smile beyond all of these things and to continue to love and accept people and so on and so forth, these are the strong people. Bless you. These are the strong people. People who allow the outside illusion to manipulate them and change their smile into a frown and focus on protection and this, that, and the third. They've allowed their armor to be damaged. Once again, that love is strong and the light is always present within the individual. However, it's always a free will choice for the individual to embrace that light. So, now, we're shifting from self-love to our connection with others. Once again, that self-love and how we feel about ourselves establishes the nature of our connection with others. We're going to move on to family and friends, right? So, family is a very touchy subject because these are people that we've been around our whole lives. We spend a lot of time around. And a lot of times here in the human experience, family, they know how hot spots in the things to poke our idiosyncrasies and characteristics and things of that nature that they know will bother us. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with friends. People close to you, you reveal what's going on in your life, and this, that, and the third, and you open your heart to people, and so on and so forth. And these are all beautiful things, beautiful connections. It's just that with our connection with family and friends, it's about our ability to accept. They're coming. Most definitely. It's about our ability to accept and see them as reflections. Unconditional love. This is our first tier of being able to accept the people around us. They're the closest to us. And you know what I mean? When your little brother spit and sing and he don't rinse the toothpaste down, and, you know what I mean? Or they, eat all the cereal and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? This is the first tier of us experiencing just things that bother us or whatever, like might get to us or whatever. But as we gather a sense of clarity and strength and acceptance, we begin to accept these people on a different level that allows us that sense of clarity and grace where we aren't focused on attempting to judge. It's necessary to accept everybody. And the family unit, our friends, this is where we actually get to practice acceptance. Your friend might do stuff that you might not like or whatever, but once again, that unconditional love is where you accept them. Hey, this is my man's, but he operates in this particular manner, but that's still my man's. I can't knock him for doing what he does. Of course, if there's things that you don't get down with or the things that you don't do, you don't necessarily do it with him. You have your own personal integrity. However, you can't knock your man for being who he is. This is how he operates. It's just, once again, that level of unconditional love allows you to accept that person. A friend is a person that you can hang out with, and they're comfortable hanging out with you because you don't judge them. I mean, yeah, you can provide, open advice if they ask or whatever, or you ask them or whatever the case may be, but the people around you, they stick by you and they don't judge you for who you are. They accept that you are who you are and you're perfect regardless of what you do. These are friends. You can always go to them. They're not going to judge you. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. But you can come to me and tell me about it and it's all good. Maybe I might not get down like that. That's not my thing. I don't do that in my life or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, I'm not going to judge you. I unconditionally love you. That's a love that means there are no conditions. You can do whatever you want to do. I still love you. We good. We cool. You can confide in me and share information of things that you've done in the past or what you did yesterday, whatever. I might not necessarily get down. I gotta agree with him, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, I'm not gonna judge you for it. That's you. That's me. But within our hearts, we all know the truth. But we have a free will choice to do what we want to do. However, once again, that's that love that allows us to continue to stay connected and bind without attempting to place analysis or say, oh, you wrong for doing this and you right for doing that, this, that, and the third. No, you're experiencing your life and your own creations. I'm experiencing my life and my own creations. There's love. Justice is integrated within love. So there's nothing that we need to enforce as individuals on another to get them in line or correct them or whatever the case may be. I may do things that I know aren't necessarily the most wholesome in the world. However, it's integrated within my path to experience the things to rectify these things or bring clarity to who I am as an individual as far as what's the better decision that's in a more of alignment with who I am in truth, with my heart. However, these are things that are within the heart. So, now, this is the nature of family and friends. However, now we're going to get to the more in-depth, juicy stuff and talk about the relationship aspect. And when I say relationship, I speak of our relationship with significant others. People we're intimate with, people we're romantic with, and things of this nature. This is very intense emotions. What you got, team?
Somebody told you to discuss the nature of cannabis, alcohol, in an incarnate's healing journey.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, we're going to get to that.
We'll get to that in a second.
Somewhere.
Give me a sec, bro.
There is some cannabis going on around, but
Absolutely. So, when it comes to relationships, these are very touchy subjects. Why? Because it touches us in a very, very, very deep place that where we feel vulnerable when it comes to intimacy and romance and opening our hearts to another individual. We're dealing with a lot of energy on the emotional body. Yeah? So, I'd like to go into all the details about it. However, for the sake of our discussion, I'd like to keep it as broad as possible. The nature of a relationship, like an intimate relationship, like a wife husband or boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, no bias here. However, the foundation of a wholesome, not even wholesome, but a stable relationship is you have two people who are happy with their lives. They're happy with themselves. They love themselves unconditionally. And they have an agreement and they choose to coexist. And I say choose with a level of distinction, because once again, we're talking about two happy people that choose to coexist. They choose to be in the same space, right? The choice is about them enjoying the stimulus of life together. However, there is no dependency on the other to be happy. Because once again, we're talking about two people who are perfectly satisfied. And maybe I should probably use the word satisfied versus happy. They're satisfied with themselves. However, they made a choice to coexist because they enjoy experiencing this thing called life together. But once again, there's no obligations or dependency. Like, you make me happy. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to be here, this, that, and the third. No, we are two perfectly satisfied people who choose to coexist together. When we recognize this, we're better able to work together in enhancing the stimulus that we experience together, because we're not dependent on each other. We're better able to work around and communicate with each other about the nature of our relationship when it comes to personal development and alignment, if you will. I don't necessarily like to get into speaking on growth and this, that, and the third. However, there's an alignment factor that comes along with life. And of course, once again, we're all experiencing that alignment as we go through our experiences together. However, that choice to coexist also comes with the benefit of having someone to intimately support you. And when I say intimate, I'm talking about someone close to you when you come home from work or you go through a situation or whatever the case may be, and you can communicate with that person about what happened. Come on, you know, pillow talk. Yeah, baby, you know what I mean, this lady at my job, this, she keep bugging me, blah, 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 blah. And you express what's going on with the person or with you and your nature, relationship with the person. And they're able to talk to you about, well, hey, they give you, hopefully, a unbiased perspective of the situation, because they didn't support you, and you know, yeah, I don't know if I was, am I tripping? This, but once again, this is a person that you have an intimate connection with, and it's very, very healthy to experience this kind of connection. However, the foundation of that connection is necessary to cultivate and realizing that we all working on things inside of ourselves, and that's a constant. That's what's constant. We're constantly working on things within ourselves, and at the same time, the nature of our coexistence is based on our individual satisfaction beyond being dependent. This is what's necessary, and that lack of dependency or absence of dependency is based on self-love. I'm accepting myself, am I loving myself enough where I don't need another person to make me feel good? Do I need this person to make me feel good? That's not how the sun works. The sun shines. It's always shining. The sun don't need the moon to reflect its light. The sun just shines. There is no dependency. So once again, as we cultivate this, we develop and expand the nature of our relationships into other spectrums of existence and more broader experiences and wider ranges of connection. So, as we focus on this and cultivate this idea of relationships and the foundation of them, when we're prepared, we are open enough to expand the nature of our relationships into deeper realms, because there's always more to realize. There's always more to recognize within the vastness of creation that is who we are. And right now we're taking these baby steps. However, at the moment we're in the midst of a leap of evolution that involves us cultivating relationships in new ways that we're not necessarily the most familiar with, especially here amongst human society. So let's take that into consideration as we move forward. Now, before I get off the mic, I do want to address any questions that might be popping up there on our live Facebook feed on SWAT team. You can shout them out to me, let me know what's good.
Let me see where we at.
I'll give some brief answers so we can get our discussion started.
Okay. By the way, everybody that's tuned in, peace.
Peace.
You are at Let's Build at Universal Cafe here in Wiesbaden, Germany. Myself, Amon, is the squad, aka Skywalker, Asiatic specialist, overseas, Hyundai, Universal Brothers. Everybody else, say hello. Hello to Queen over there. Mira. Yeah, we don't have a packed house tonight, but we do have people that's interested. Jeff is at the bar, stealing some Jack. All right, let me answer some questions real quick. Let me see. Ron says you need a mic. Basically, a mic that you don't have to hold. It's distracting.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. We'll go work on that. Will, we at the cafe. Like, you know where we at, Will.
You know where we at, Will.
I'm about to come through. All right. Let me see. Oh, my mama watching.
Hey, what's up, Mama?
Stop cursing.
Mama Smell?
You already got me, though. What's up, Angel in the house, Hector?
Yo, hey.
Big
Angel,
ups to Neva. Somebody say, what's up, C's?
What's up?
Who we got? Mel. How you doing, Mel? Back to Derek. We're not really talking about cannabis and alcohol right now. It might be next week, though. I mean,
what
we got some of the experts coming up later. He asked...
That's a long question.
It is. It's also the aspect of light work, service, and creative expressions, and how to create peacefully and stress less about the amount of productivity. It's very easy to get intimidated by Lavelle's proliferancy as a newly awakened soul.
Okay, what was the first question?
Please discuss the nature of cannabis, alcohol, and an incarnate's healing journey. He's going to get with you on a personal message on that one, Derek.
Let's do that one personally.
Oh, Lee, you know you're wrong for that question. Is it okay to slap your partner for fun? Only if it's on the ass. Oh, sorry, Mama. Damn. My mama gonna kill me. Yeah. Neva made a comment. Who this? My Disa Archangel. Relationships should not become ownerships. I think we all agree with that.
I like it.
Devin said it was a good analogy. He said you should run for Congress.
All right.
I don't know if we want to do it over here in Germany.
Not this system.
Change the conversation within the nation. Word up. Hector, all actions taken within a relationship are understood within self. With that said, nothing is wrong or right without you knowing. Your knowing is your partner's knowing. Always Hector, boy.
Yeah.
He always gets you. Let me see. He said, what's up to everybody? Devin again, we have a good narrative going and humanity needs to hear it.
All right.
Well, shoot it out to him. And we got a pink heart.
Absolutely. Let's go. I got a pink heart.
Pink heart is in the house. So,
Absolutely.
before we get back to the actual group discussion, you want to finish up?
I will address Dirk's second question. I won't get into the weed and alcohol thing because that's an intuitive something. I mean, first and foremost, don't judge yourself. Let it go. Everybody is at where they at. Once again, there's no wrong or right. As stated, there's things that are harmful and destructive to your being. There are paths and things such as cannabis that are gifts shared here on the planet. However, once again, evolution and ascension is in moving beyond dependency, where you're satisfied. We talk about that when we came to relationships. Satisfaction being something that's natural within the human body. So this is something that takes place as you align. The nature of the light work. That's intuitive as well, because at the end of the day, when we talk about how-tos, we're talking about mental processes and analysis where we're looking for linear explanations.
Got another dope question.
Okay, fact. So I'm going to answer for you. When we come to how-tos, how you do this, how you do that, give me a how-to, how to do this, and the third. Once again, these are mental analysis, trying to figure out things. They want linear explanations, which are logical. However, once again, the heart always knows what's going on. It's just necessary for you to trust yourself. The intent, even the fact that you're asking the question, there's a deep sense of intent in what you're attempting to manifest for yourself. It's only necessary to embrace that and allow the infinite intelligence of creation to unfold everything that's necessary in front of you to realize that. When it comes to your light work and doing things on a daily basis, your creativity, yes, there's a lot of information out there, prolific speech and things of this nature, lots of writing and so on and so forth. Once again, you can view it, but at the end of the day, you're here to express something very special that's unique to you. You have something extremely special that only you can communicate. It's not about comparison whatsoever. You say things, the way you say them, that resonate with a specific group of people that you are to communicate with. However, it's only necessary for you to embrace that within yourself and not necessarily focus on what's going on outside of you. Focus on the inside, do the work that's necessary for you, and you'll develop your own harmonic essence that connects with those who resonate with your particular frequency. So this is what's necessary first and foremost. And let it go, bro. Let's ride.
All right, Angel says, what advice do you have to those who are sexual in nature in the pure sense of the word, who feels misunderstood in the world because of their innocence? Angel, you just free, man.
So hold on, no, I know where he's coming from. So listen, and really, the nature of this involves a level of evolution and not necessarily innocence, but openness that much of humanity aren't necessarily ready for. However, there's a slight minority of people who are open to these kinds of connections when we talk about sex and exchanges and so on and so forth. When we get into talking about right or wrong, yeah? There is none. Humanity has operated within certain structures and moral constraints that have basically limited humanity to factors that stop us from expressing ourselves fully. And when it comes to diseases and all of these things that block us from being able to make these kind of connections, there's a lot of fear there. Personally, I'm not there yet. There's a lot of people who are. When it comes to sexual exchanges, there's open relationships. There's relationships where there's more than one partner on both sides. And this is not necessarily about, male chauvinism or, just the absence of monogamy, a greater, more expanded sense of relationship where there's more than one partner when it comes to sexual exchanges and these kind of connections. There's nothing out of place about that. This is the exact same thing as assuming that a person who has sex with the same gender is dysfunctional, or there's something wrong with a person having sex with the same gender. It's the same thing. These are biases based off of the constructs that we operate within today. However, once again, it's always a choice to participate in these things or not. There's people who choose not to do that, but once again, they're operating within a sense of purity. The truth is peace. The divine truth is peace. Now, whatever a person's doing from a space of peace is their business, and it's their choice. It's not out of alignment. If there's a couple in a relationship that chooses to be in an open relationship and have multiple sex partners and this thing, and once again, as long as it's within the agreement of the relationship and all participants are willing to participate within a space of peace, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But once again, it's about a person's, like the participants' willingness to participate. We all are all experiencing our free will decisions. Always. So this is the approach that's necessary when we realize that. And it always goes back to unconditional love. There are no conditions. Angel, enjoy yourself. Love. Be open. Be free. Do what you do. Once again, everybody is doing and experiencing life as they choose to experience it. Don't allow another person to take away your freedom and dictate what you can and can't do based on social constructs. These are programs that have maintained slavery amongst humanity for the last 13,000 years. And the nature of this awakening is in evolving beyond these constructs and these constraints, these limitations. So enjoy yourself. Do what you do, as long as it's from a place of love.
You get that, Angel? All right, next question. I hope I'm saying your name right. Madisa, Archangel. What to tell a spouse that think they should also know they should know everyone you connect with? She's asking, is this a breach of free will? Or she's saying it's a breach of free will for her.
So the first aspect of that was that you're referring to a partner. And this is, I'm assuming, a person that you've decided to coexist with, right? There is an agreement that you have amongst each other, first and foremost. Now, if you're uncomfortable with expressing that, then it might be time to readdress the nature of your relationship. It's not necessarily a breach of free will if you've agreed to be in a particular, your relationship has a structure, or you've made decisions on how you operate the relationship. Now, if you're uncomfortable with that, once again, it's necessary to readdress the nature of your relationship. If you want to keep these things from the person and so on and so forth, then okay, that is your choice. That's your free will choice to do so. However, the agreement that you have with the partner that you have is necessary to be rectified and readdressed as well, because it's that person's free will to continue to be a partner with you based off of the decision and agreement that you have together. So once again, it'd be necessary to readdress that and see where things go from there. So that's the best we can provide at present.
So Mama Abuna said she's here. You know Mama Abuna?
Hey, what's up, Mama?
Peace, sister. Okay, let me see what else we got. What else? Angel messing around, of course. Free will is what we do with the options present at any moment.
Absolutely.
Good point, Devin.
Absolutely.
Well, what about our audience here? Anybody got anything to say here?
Yeah, let's get some response. I know y'all looking and very quiet. It's late, and everybody's here for a purpose. I will assume y'all got some things to say.
Anybody? Obvious? I always call you out.
Yes.
Obvious Rodriguez is in the house, people.
You can talk.
Pam got something to say. There you go.
Wait, is the mic on?
It's on.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, so you meet a strange person for the first time.
Mhm.
So there's like no connection between the two persons.
Mhm.
But somehow you accept the person for who they are. And you manage to deal with the things, either you like it or not, but you accept that person for just the whole person for who they are. But it happened to me that although there was no connection, I gave it some time, and I wanted to see where it leads me. But at the end, I don't know, I broke it off because to me it's like there was no really connection where you just and you float when you connect with someone, you know. So I broke it off. So I mean, was this like a right thing to do? Like, I mean, for me, it was like giving the person like a chance to maybe show me what kind of person they are. But do you know what? Do you get me? Like
I can answer that
yeah,
one.
I'm always trying to make friends, or,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's like there's no way for the two of them. You
Okay.
know? So
So you're saying you open yourself up to establish a connection. The connection wasn't, it didn't work for you.
yeah,
Felt out of whack, right? And you broke it off.
yeah.
Okay. So first and foremost, we need to recognize that there are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. And another thing that we need to recognize is that there are no strangers. Being that creation is perfect, we created the connections and relationships that we experience with everyone, regardless of how short, mundane, or minute they may seem, subtle, whatever the case may be. These connections are predestined and established for reasons that are divine and beyond logical explanation, if you will. But at the same time, they serve both of you in ways that, once again, are beyond logical explanation. They serve both of you, even if it was more so just a catalyst of you being open and establishing a sense of connection with the person, having a conversation. Maybe it was something that the person said that will reign true or have a deeper effect or realization on you as a person, maybe not now, but at a later time.
Maybe.
It's all possible, but at the end of the day, like you said, the first thing and the foundation of all that you experienced and the maturity and the nature of that experience was the fact that you had an open heart and you maintained it. It didn't work out, or the connection didn't feel appropriate, or whatever the case may be. However, you maintained an open heart and you were able to accept the catalyst for whatever it was. And once again, all of these things are valuable in the nature of the experience of life itself. Yeah? So it's a beautiful thing.
And there was a purpose why you met him. Don't need to
What's
know
up?
why.
We have some more inquiries, some more convo. What's good? Come on, give me some. I know y'all got something. We just having a conversation. I know y'all got questions. We gonna put you on blast and stuff. Just ask it. What you think about?
Who actually think they know what love is? I want to. You know what love is, Jeff? Or Ryan? Smalls? You young. What is love to you? What is love to you, Obvious?
Love is.
Love is for me like you go the same way, you understand me.
Louder.
I'm chocolate.
Be hard on me. Go ahead.
So each other understanding, listen to each other, make choices for each other, be supporting for each other, whatever, whether it's me like sad or happiness or whatever it is that we hold together, that we can be a family, build our future together, like one thinking and never disrespecting each other, see wrong and right, have the kind of feeling when the person is gone and for one day or something that is going to be like a year. It can so many things be love of, you know, how to explain.
No doubt. That's what's up. Give her a round of applause for that. That was nice. Good job. There we go. So what's up? What's up, Tim? You got some more on the boards, bro?
Nothing left on the board. Let me see. I think Hector just bounced. Ron said, "Is there an audience?" I told him yes, it was him. We all up in here. We're not deep tonight, but it doesn't really matter. We're still connecting on an international level.
Absolutely.
We got people from all over the place.
What's that?
I want to hear something from him. What you got to say about love, man?
So give him a minute.
Like, love for me is like, for me it's simple. Like when you love me the way I love you, we cool. Like when you don't cheat on me, when you don't use my love for like material things, like you know what I'm saying? Like,
You talking to you?
what?
No, it's all good.
Yeah, that's it. I'm good.
But what about love to you?
Like person.
Yeah. You basically you spoke of love and how you're supposed to love someone else in a relationship. What about that first step, that self-love? What is that love to you?
Like I don't know how to explain it.
You can do it in German.
Wie fühlst du dich für dich selber, wenn du jemanden lieben tust? So gesehen.
Wie ich mich werde, das fühle.
Ja. Wie willst du dich fühlen?
You can say it in German if you want to.
That is no problem. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Jeff wanted to say something, huh?
What you got, Jeff?
You want to say something now? You're still thinking of the answer?
No.
Zum Beispiel Vertrauen, dass du selber Vertrauen hast an dir, dass du denkst, dass du aufgehst, wie eine Blüte zum Beispiel, dass du weißt, dass du sicher bist, dass du blind durchgehen kannst und sowas.
Now, like in a relationship, I'm terrible. Like, I'm super jealous. Like, I'm just super jealous.
Honesty, self-love,
I'm
that's
super
what's up.
jealous.
It's all good.
That's all it is, you know.
Super jealous.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Dass
be
du
down like
dieser
that.
Person über alles lieben würdest,
No sharing.
egal wie.
But like, I'm saying, like I'm jealous. But I still love you. Like when I'm moving around, like saying super words to her, like when I like hate on her, like when she do something bad, and I feel like kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Feel kind of bad.
That's what's up. What you got, Jeff?
And reach now?
Yeah, it'll reach. Get to him.
About right there. That's it. That's it. It's good.
Yeah, get to him.
For real. I don't know why that guy. What? Because love. When you said unconditional, how do you start from there?
How do you start from there?
How do you start from unconditional and then have to explain love that has to do now with just relationship?
Mhm.
This is one part of it. Now this is just a part of it in life. Love on the other side It's touching politics.
Touching
Love.
politics?
Touching politics. Love on the other side. It's touching culture. Love on the other side. It's touching different work groups. You know, different people are ready to live a life that understand and see love different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's just so, how will you talk about love without looking at just nature of it?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you are, vegan, nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, how you talk about love without having the vegan part getting mad, to be honest, not you, getting mad that it still happens in the world that whatever species that bleeds, we still eat of it,
Mm-hmm.
not understanding something that is saying something,
No doubt.
that even the bull with all the muscles the bull has, it's grass. Yo, you get that?
No, I don't.
Now, so you see that I don't have anything to say about love.
No,
Because
it's
I don't know which direction to start to talk about love that's going to help for a real build-up of what the world is possibly supposed to be. So, am I going to sit down to talk about relationship?
Well, start with yourself then.
Nature.
What about love for you? Right now, you're trying to reach out to
Analyze
analyze
and
and to have a purpose and figure out how to help and how to do something. What about you? What can you do for yourself with the love that you assume that you have for yourself? You can't start with that. That has to be the first
I
step.
think I've already started with it.
So what the nature of the original question was, how do you embrace that within yourself? Like from your individual standpoint, how do you love Jeff every day? When you get up in the morning before you brush your teeth and look in the mirror, this is the third, like how do you love Jeff? Anything on politics and the world and the bees and butterflies?
The power
Oh,
of
Jeff.
patience.
Huh?
The power of patience.
Patience.
The
That's
power of
beautiful.
unity.
Patience.
The power of patience.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, patience has its root in unconditional love and acceptance. Unconditional love is about acceptance. It's about accepting everything and everybody, and that starts with the self. Acceptance of oneself is unconditional love of oneself. And once again, acceptance is based on patience. I'm going back to what you said earlier. I talk about this all the time. Yeah, I don't eat meat and this, and alcohol, blah, 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 blah. I get it. However, I talk about the judgmental vegan all the time. Because, yeah, some people don't eat pork and other things. And people are heavy and focusing on physical matters as if this is the foundation of being spiritually sound and evolved in nature. However, I expressed this a long time ago as well. Judgment is the most poisonous thing that could come out of your mouth. It doesn't matter, like, I'm eating bacon and pig feet and this, that, and the third. If I'm judging another person, it's energetically worse. Just point blank, period. You accept everybody for what they do. This is the nature of unconditional love. There are no conditions. You can't, you can, but once again, it's extremely self-destructive and spiritually immature to judge another person, just period. Everybody is doing exactly what they came to do when they're supposed to do it. When I was eating chicken, ain't want nobody, let me show you this video, what they do to the chickens, and let me show you where they get it from, KFC. Like, dog, I'm enjoying my food right now. I don't need you showing me this stuff. Let me enjoy my food, right? You know, once again, you don't have people in your face doing this stuff to you, like projecting disgust, attempting to gross you out. Let me show you what alcohol do to the body. I'm going to show you these pictures of these kids and dead babies. Who are you serving right now? You're projecting guilt, shame, fear, disgust. All of these are lower frequencies. They're not holding the light. They're not serving anybody. You're doing the work of the people that's enslaving humanity right now. It's like the people at church that look at you funny for coming in late, right? They're doing the judgment work. They control people through judgment. Yeah, she with Jesus. Look at the pants. This, you know, like, what you mean? This is that kind of work. This is not the nature of love, unconditional love. So look, we gotta let that stuff go. I feel you, Jeff. Love is the essence, the fabric of existence, and it's beyond linguistical explanation. It's the fabric of infinity. Even the eloquent explanations that I bring forth don't cut it. Not even a fraction of it.
Love is love.
Most definitely. Love is love. So to a point, we just have to accept it and know that we continue to experience love as our love expands, as we continue to accept ourselves and keep moving. Yeah? What's up, team?
Next question from Medusa Archangel. Let me know if I'm saying your name wrong. What are relationships like in the higher realms? Do they mirror these on Earth or different?
Much different. Much different. With their full consciousness, it's all right. With their full consciousness, there's an awareness of self on such a deep level that there are no distortions of separation. There's a sense of oneness and unity that's beyond how we operate here on Earth. The connections are blissful, the connections are pure, the connections are vast in realizing that we are multidimensional beings beyond the physical body itself. There is no possession. There's only connection. There's a connection with all. There are no diseases, there are no restraints, there are no limitations. A beautiful, something else should express much, there's sex aboard our fleet. It's a beautiful and sacred experience. We do these things. It's very natural. It's a gift of the physical experience. So yes, connections and relationships on the higher realms are much different. However, these are blessings that are experienced, and this is like me attempting to describe the taste of a strawberry without you having tasted a strawberry before. I can explain it to the best of the depth and what my eloquence will allow me to. However, there's more. So thank you for that question. It's beautiful.
Ma Udesa. Got it right this time. I think so. She had to spell it out to me like kindergarten.
Yeah, right?
Okay, we got a few more comments. She said something pretty good. Love is acceptance, allowing in service, changes form. And Angel said something about real love is unconditional, something we spoke of earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get into the group session.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and get into the group session. So let me give y'all a little quick break real quick. Watch the video while we get everybody together, get their drink on, sit on stage, and we're going to chop it up even more and go a little bit deeper. Stay tuned. Yeah, you got to look at my Facebook page for this.
That's our music, so if you like it, it's holler. It's nothing. Peace. Work is gone. Work is gone already. We love the show. Yeah. I don't know why you thought I was asleep. Go ahead, Jamie. Honey, 44,000 on the ground. What's up the street? Let's go, let's go.
How you gonna start the rest?
On another level, ever like a rebel, renegade it down and play with you, flip this over me, so man. I got greens, beans, chicken, turkeys, raps, so much magic, every butter, call me daddy. Oh, don't be great, all in your face, all on the base, all in the place. Holla, man, this command big like. Blast off, but blast off, man.
So yo, we gonna split it up like you'll have a self-love group or you'll have a relationship / family friends.
Come on. Yo, many, I've been in my tongue, keep it cool. I'm on brown, summer, so stiff, rock, slop, bust, thunder. Rain while the sun's out, rain while the sun's out. Yeah. The dance for the hawk in the gold blue hairdress, rose little juice, and my challenge me to rap this. Take me a sip for I really get the rapping, yo. Come on, baby. Really get it pop up for the repeat. How we get busy in it deep, so deep that the unoriginal is still in the wrong. Where's going to be? Hold that quarantine. Come on, the mother goes through the coach and we go too cool. I'm speaking sort of through. On the bumpers, yo. That's a Betty Crocker, big roll. They call me Dallas Sport Angelo. Light work animals. So bright, they don't know. They don't want to bone me, yo. Blast off, but the blast off, homie. Blast off, but the blast off, homie.
Yo, y'all look at this real quick.
Clowning right now. Oh man. All right, well, we kind of back. We'll give everybody a bathroom break real quick. We just go around, introduce y'all to some of the squad that's still around. It's the guy behind the boards who makes the lovely videos that y'all see.
It's popping.
Check his freckles.
Population.
We got Nino
Yes, sir.
Brown over here.
What up, y'all? Love. The essence of being in all creation. I feel you, mama. Go ahead, Z.
And it is Zena. We got Ryan over here. Supporter.
Hey, what's up?
How you gonna say?
I'm glad that y'all here. It's every time we come out and do this, it's really inspirational. So it's good that everybody's out here. You actually gotta come out here. Like, you'll love the whole experience. So just come on out if you're in the area.
You can open it.
And my name Faces, by the way. So
You can open it.
come on in.
Oh, outside?
I'll go get
I
it.
guess somebody locked themselves out. Typical. Got Jeff over here.
What's good? Bless. What's good? Yeah. What should I say about this?
Yeah, it looks
Where do I
dead now.
start?
Everybody's on bathroom break right now, so it's kind of silence. Y'all doing good though? Any more questions out there that we could or should address? We're about to get into the group session when everybody comes back and get down to the nitty gritty. Let's see what we working with. It's kind of messed up because I got to hold my phone this whole time.
Yeah, right?
Probably can hear you better though.
Yeah, you probably can't. Y'all can hear me pretty good with this? Somebody give me 3 thumbs up. You can hear me. Oh, yeah. I'm going to accept your friend request, Zena. My bad. I always wait till like a month or so later because for some reason I get like a lot of porn friend requests. So I'm getting tired of like looking at that stuff and deleting it every day. So I always do it like once a month or something. It's coming though. Trust me. Trust me. Yes, you do see the notification up there. I shouldn't even sold you my Facebook. Let me see. Got DJ Two Smalls in the house. He out now. Just stick with us, stick with us. We're not going yet. Is there a pause button on here? So you guys tell me how y'all doing today. Tell me about your day. I'm listening.
Savage smirk. Some savage smirk.
Savage word. So, Don, kind of?
I'm going with that.
So what?
Rap on small and savage smart.
Yeah, transfer that. That's when your name, man. Transform.
26 savage
I like that one.
So, Don.
Huh?
Don,
No. We're on break.
DJ name.
Pausa. Bathroom break. Drink break. Smoke break.
What's the program like?
The what?
What's the program like?
Program.
After this, what happens? That's all. Because last time I remember when I had to go to Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
We came back, it was empty. We were like, what the fuck? For real.
How long was you gone? You talking about the last time?
Yeah, last time I left at 11, or was it?
Yeah, we was here for a minute.
We came back, I guess around 2. Around 2. I guess around 2.
Yeah.
She was closed.
You came back around 2? Oh yeah, we was done before then.
Yeah.
We was done like 1-ish.
Okay.
About 1:30.
You're running with t-shirt.
What did you guys do after the talk?
I forgot. It was a minute. Like overseas over here.
Freestyle section or something? Or just music?
No, we were just talking that time. We were just talking.
Just talking.
I can't get out. Yo, can you come with me?
Let me leave this up here. Gotta unlock the door to let people out.
So I think the shop talk at 3 is first. Yeah, shop talk at 3 first, and then
PJ's later after that.
and then we do a meet up at PJ's for a quick meet.
Ja, mijn tweede naam is in Facebook.
What time you think you're gonna be at PJ's?
Huh?
What time you think you're gonna be at PJ's?
It'll be after the shoot. The shoot at 3, and then we can slide over there.
Ja, die
I got
daar
church
in
event,
Facebook.
all day church event, so
So
I'm just coming over there after that.
Oh, that's what's up,
Mijn
tight.
erstes naam is afgelost.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't know who locked it. I think the people upstairs.
He is
We can take you. She's driving. We can take you back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can take. She drove it.
Show my decor. Yeah.
Same questions.
Hey, D, can I give you some money, man? So give me a ride, yo.
Kind of more of a group session. We had to finish with the
Balling that, huh? What you had now? Yeah, you about to have right now? Right now?
I got topics or Ezekiel on topics.
What's up, Mal?
Relax.
Chill, B.
Everything good?
Everything's love, man.
I heard something might be wrong. Think you good?
Huh?
I heard something might be wrong.
Alrighty. Righty.
So I got
So y'all want to stick around for the for the group session? If not, I can close this off. And we can get our freestyle on and do what we do. Play some beats. Get it cracking. Obvious over here just keep looking at me all weird.
What? It's not true.
There you are.
No.
She's wearing that crown well.
your team.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people now too.
We can close it off.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the ballpark already.
Yeah. I mean, what y'all heard you guys trying to kick it, do some beats and stuff like that. I mean, I'm down so. Yeah. You go up, get a brother So you want to close it out on live? So you say something real quick to him? Before we close out, there gotta be some steps.
Plans. It's time to close it out. Y'all can go to bed now. Catch us, what is next month? April? Catch us the first Thursday in April for the next session of Let's Build. Don't know the topic yet, but we'll see. Hopefully one of the other guys will give you some insight on whatever it is that they plan on studying. They got some homework to do. I want RJ to speak or whatever. So, yo, once again, peace out from Universal Cafe, Universal Brothers in the house. Let's build.
Salute the fleet.
Asiatic, Mass, all the great few people that came out to chill with us tonight. Y'all have a good one. We see y'all later. Peace.